Well, with millennials abandoning traditional banking in droves, many believe the bank branch will perhaps soon be a thing of the past. Digital disruption, very much at the heart of change. The emergence of fintech, a potential game changer. One of Australia's leading fintechs is TSWG, which believes the only branch that will have relevance to millennials will be a true branch. I'm joined by TSWG CEO Dan Downs. Dan, appreciate your time today. Really, is it going the way of the dodo, bank branches?
Absolutely. The data we're getting from our customers is that by 2020, branch transactions will virtually be non-existent. And we've been in this game for a while, and internet banking, it's also peaked. And the game's all very much on the mobile, and that's, I guess, like your friend from Domino's was saying, it's all about the customer demand and that instantaneous kind of feedback that you get from the mobile.
And yet you have these large financial institutions in the big banks still applying a fair degree of investment into their branch offering.
Yes, I think you'll start to see that's changing. The consumer will lead themselves away from there, and I think the traffic in the branches is definitely going to decline. There's definitely not going to be, as I say, the data I'm getting from my customers is that transactions are on the deep rapid decline, and I guess, as you say, the big four are still investing in the branches, but they're really obviously trying to use them as something else. That's definitely not going to be for transactions.
In terms of then looking out 10, 15, 20 years in the interaction when it comes to financial institutions via mobile or whatever it is we're using, then what place is there for some of these smaller, nimble, agile fintech services versus some of the larger institutions that will no doubt be putting their considerable reserves to use in that space?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think in Australia we have a very strong, dominant, the big four, and they invest heavily in digital. And I think, as you say, the more nimble fintechs are going to just intermediate various components of that, and just maybe do the aggregation or the onboarding of a new client, or just sell a mortgage or some form of the payments. But I think we're going to see more and more of that, and particularly as they can streamline the user experience with mobile devices, or as you say, who knows what devices in the future.
From your perspective then, where does TSWG fit in?
Well, so we're trying to help the non-tier one banks. So in a lot of ways, we'd be considered a white label supplier of technology, and so we've got the stack that can enable your second tier of banks to deliver a competitive service and try and take it up to the big guys.
And look, how competitive is that space? Because one of the other things I notice particularly about millennials is there's not a great degree of loyalty unless there's some sort of an emotive connection. There's a lot more regarding the relationship with customers, it seems, with millennials. So you need to build more of a unique relationship as opposed to just saying, here's our offer, take it or leave it.
I totally agree with you. I think the user experience is absolutely key. And if it's not intuitive and just 3 steps, you're going to lose them fairly quickly. So it really comes down to the design of the software and ensuring that you capture that attention of the millennial fairly quickly.
And the clients and the various businesses that you speak to who are looking to use your services, is there an awareness of that, or is it sometimes sort of an educational process?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, very much. There's a process. I think you have that kind of epiphany or that awareness moment where you go, damn, we're not getting many people come back come to the branch. So how do I talk to them? And then it's like, well, let's put up a mobile offering. But if it's a fairly average mobile offering, that's not going to cut it either. So you really want that intuitive, always available experience and just easy to use. Yeah, absolutely need that.
And how would you describe the Australian market when it comes to that? I mean, we're often described as early adopters of technology. Does that lend itself as well to sort of mobile banking and I suppose that sort of level of payments now?
Indeed. Probably, outside the UK, probably leaders in the world is from our research. I just recently had a trip to the US, and they got a long ways to go. I think Australia is really quick on the take up of new tech, and particularly in the banking space, they really race to this. And you see the likes of the Apple Pay really becoming very popular with ANZ customers, and good by ANZ to be competitive, I think.
And look, just finally, one of the ongoing issues for many, though, is around security. Still, in particular, when it comes to transactions. I know blockchain is, sort of making an appearance in that fintech space, but your thoughts around the level of security and easing concerns when it comes around security of transaction?
Yeah, another good question, and very important. I think what the big banks have done, and I think everyone else has to do, is that they basically reimburse any fraud, and there's not as much fraud. The mobile devices actually are quite secure, particularly the Apple's kind of closed ecosystem makes it difficult to crack. But having those reassurances that if there was a fraud, it would be reimbursed, I think makes everyone kind of not they just feel like, let's just have it go.
Yeah, no, good point. Look, Dan Downs, got to leave there. Great to talk. Thank you.
Thank you.